Hello you guys, welcome back to another train with me. So, I've decided to kind of start a training series, and the topic I'm going to be kind of discussing is I'm going to be talking about rating the Gen 3 horses from when the Gen 3s were first introduced to the newest Gen 3s, which will change over time, I think. But I've got a whole list here in front of me. So we're gonna train, oh my goodness, Knightly Icon. Honestly, I'll be honest, I thought this horse was like level 5, so I'm actually quite happy this horse is more at level 8, but we're gonna be training him. I got off of Noble Spice because he was at level 10. And I honestly, once they get up to level 10, past level 10, it feels like training becomes really hard and tedious. So, I'm not going to train them anymore until, once I get them all up to level 10, I'm not going to train them anymore until the Halloween update comes out, because then training doesn't feel as tedious. So, anyway, I am sick, so excuse my voice and my coughing, if that ends up happening. So, yeah. Alright, so we're going to start off the first Gen 3 horse, and just so you know the rules for this, I'm not going, if I don't know a horse breed, like I don't own it, or I haven't looked into it much, and I just don't have much of an opinion, that horse is going to be ranked it's going to be ranked at a 5. So these horses will be ranked, from, 1 being the worst, 10 being the absolute best, in my opinion. So please don't get mad at me if you guys think that these horses are fantastic. If you think they're fantastic, all for you. Go get them. But this is just my general opinion on all of these. So the first horse, and this is out of release date from the research I've done. So I might be right or wrong. You guys can correct me if you know better. So the first horse is the Connemara pony. I don't know too much about these horses, so, I mean, it's kind of going to be a 5 out of 10. I just don't know much about them. When they first came out, I wanted one, but, I don't know, they're just obviously not the newest Gen 3s. I think they're cute, though. Their gaits are obviously not up to, huge start tables kind of area, just because, they're older. But honestly, I do know a little bit more about them, so I'm honestly going to kind of put them at a 6 out of 10. I'm not a huge pony person, so that will also influence my decision on at least the ponies in this game. But the Connemaras I'm going to put at a 6 out of 10. The next Gen 3 is the Norse Swedish horse. I don't own any. Because, again, they're older. I mean, I technically do because I have the Rune Runner. But I think that horse is, the ugliest out of all the Gen 3s. Star Stable, please update the soul horse after you... Whatever those horses are called after you do all your Druid training. That horse needs a major update. But, that horse, for me, I think is, a 3 out of 10. They're almost a 4 out of 10 because I think some of the coat colors are really, really gorgeous. And the gaits they're not, horrid for their time. But, I don't know, I have a worse opinion of them because I don't own one besides the soul horse you get from Druid training, so, yeah, it's just not, the Rune Runner, that's what it's called. Yeah, so I don't have the best opinion of them, but, I mean, they're cute. I mean, honestly, on my alt account, I'll probably get one, because they are pretty. Some of the coat colors are really pretty. So, that's my opinion on those. The next horse is the Lustianos. Honestly, I would not be surprised if that's, the next breed SSO updates to, the newer Gen 3. But I really like the Lustianos. They're probably they would be an 8 out of 10 for me, but their jump is really ugly. And I know they're not supposed to be a jumping horse, they're a dressage horse, I get that. But I'm also you know, so they're a 7 out of 10 for me, but I really do like the Lucianos. I own one. The coat colors are really pretty. I probably will get another one on my alt account. Um, so, yeah, but they're really pretty. So, yeah, probably 7, pushing 8 out of 10. The next horse is the Jorvik Pony. Again, I'm not very biased pony, so this will, again, kind of influence my decisions here. For me, they're kind of a 3 out of 10. I think the coat colors are absolutely adorable. But I don't like ponies that much, and I just do not like their gaits. I think they're kind of clunky, and I know it's because they're so little, like they're itty bitty ponies, so it makes sense, but they're not my cup of tea, and I'm gonna be saying that a lot, because I know a lot of people really like them, but they're just not my thing. So yeah, probably 3 out of 10. Yeah. Alright, the next horse are the Trackners. I know a lot of people, it's kind of controversial, a lot of people don't like the Trackners. I personally really like the Trackners. I think, like, the coat colors are kind of, like, it's kind of a hit and miss. Some of them are really pretty, some of them are not. And I know a lot of people don't like the Trackners because they're really close to the starter coat, which they are. But honestly, I feel like the Trackners are kind of like the Jorvik Warmbloods, just better. Like, their tail animations are better. You know, obviously not up to par with now, but, like, for their time, like, the tail animations were so much better, the gaits were better. I really like the jump on that horse, so for me, the Trackners are probably an 8, 9 out of 10. I only have one right now, but I probably will get another one. I know they're not retrofitted to the newer tack. Honestly, I think SSO this month, I think, are going to be retrofitting some new horses. I think they send their trail of upcoming things they're doing, so I think they're going to be updating that, which I really hope they do, because I think that'd be awesome. But yeah, the Trackners are like 9 out of 10. Like, I really like the Trackners. So again, my opinion, but that's that. The next one is the Fjord horses. I don't like them at all. I don't know, like, I love the fjords in real life. I think they're really pretty, and I'm gonna take care of my horse because he's really unhappy. I just don't think they do the breed justice. Like, I think that they could have done so much better. No. So they're probably like a 2, 3 out of 10 for me. I think that's another breed SSO could update to the newer Gen 3s, and honestly, like, I would probably get one. Oh my goodness, that's not what I meant to do. Actually, it is what I meant to do. So yeah, they're a 2, 3 out of 10. They're just not it. They're just not it. So yeah, that's my opinion on that. The next ones are the Clydesdales. I don't know. They're kind of a 5 out of 10 because I don't know much about them. But I also know a little bit about them. So, from the little bit I know about them, they'd probably be like a 3 or 4. I think some of the coats are really pretty, but honestly, like, their face, like, just their build it's really funny, and I was thinking about this while kind of writing down my list, is I feel like Star Stable back in those days, it was really a hit or miss on the Gen 3s. Because, like, the Lucianos seemed, like, so ahead of a lot of the other Gen 3 horses, and then they came out with horses like the Clydesdale or the North Swedish, and you're like, yeah, not as good. So, I don't know, and I feel like the Clydesdale was kind of in that kind of area where it was like, you know, they've kind of done better in the past, and then they come out with that. It's like, ugh. So, I don't know, the Clydesdales are kind of a hit or miss. I think some of the coat colors are really pretty, but I don't know, just their gaits and their build is just no. I don't know, they're just no. And the next horse is the updated Gen 3 Jorvik Warmblood / Star Starter horses. I give them probably a solid 6 out of 10. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They've kind of been a hit or miss for me over the years. Like, I think some colors are really pretty. Like Copper Hunter, my starter horse on this account, really like that horse. Really pretty and all that. Um, my only problem with the Jorvik Warmbloods is the tails. I do not like the older, like Gen 3, Gen 2. Like, I do not like the tails. They look like they have split ends. So the only time I really like the Jorvik Warmbloods is if, like, they have their mane in braids, because then it makes the tail look not as bad. So, I don't know, they're kind of a 6 out of 10. I think the gaits are fine. I think the jump's fine. It's mainly just the tail that drives me nuts. And that's kind of to go for all the older Gen 3 horses. Just the tails look like they have major split ends, and that's not attractive to me at all. So that's my opinion on that one. The next horse are the Chincoteague ponies. Again, kind of a hit or miss. I think some of the coat colors are cute, but again, they're just not my cup of tea. They're just not. So, because I don't know much about them, they're kind of I mean, it's technically 5 out of 10, but from what I've seen of them, they're kind of, for me, they're a 3 out of 10. They're just not it for me. And again, I don't like ponies. Okay, so the next horse, and I feel like there's so much controversy on how to say this horse's name, but I believe it's the Alcolteke. I don't know. I can't say much. They're kind of an automatic 5 out of 10 because I don't know much about them. I feel like, honestly, a 5 out of 10 is like a really good rating for them because, like, I think a lot of the coat colors are a hit or miss. I think their gaits are pretty good. I was actually looking at one recently because I think I'm going to put one on my alt account. Because, again, I don't think they're bad. Like, they're just not, they're just older Gen 3. So, they're just kind of a 5 out of 10. Not really much to say on that. The next is the older Gen 3 Andalusians. Again, I really like the older Gen 3 Andalusians. So they're probably like an 8 out of 10 for me. Again, the only problem with them is the jump. Just the jump just looks so bad. Like the way they just crinkle up their legs when they jump, it's just ugh. So but yeah, they're an 8 out of 10. They're really pretty. They did really good for their time. Which is again crazy, but yeah, anyway, so that's my opinion on that. The next horse is the Curly Horse. And again, this is another one of those things where it's like some of them were really good and then some of them were like really bad, even though they were in the same generation. And I feel like the Andalusian versus the Curly Horse is like a really good comparison because the Andalusians for their time were really realistic and really good and really pretty. And then they come out with the Curly Horse and it's like, what happened, Because, like, I think the Curly Horses are really cute. Like, the coats are, like, really adorable. I was in New Hillcrest yesterday doing quests, and I was like, they're actually really cute. So they're honestly, for me, like, a 5 out of 10, just even. Because I think their coats are adorable, but their gaits are just not up to par. And it's like I said, I think in a previous video, I think it kind of looks like they have broken hip bones when they run, because they just drop their butt so far down. So yeah, that's my opinion on the Curly Horses. The Irish Cobs. I know a lot of people really like the Irish Cobs, and I can see the appeal, but for me, they're honestly like a 5 out of 10. And that's because I can't say too much because I don't have one and I haven't really looked into them a ton. I think a lot of the coats are really, really pretty, which almost just on that alone kind of ranks them up to a 6 out of 10. But I haven't looked at them enough to know. So I don't know. And we're leveling up to him up to level 9. So yeah, they're probably a 5 or 6 out of 10. honestly, the Irish Cob is a horse I plan on getting on my alt account probably this Christmas, so I will have an actual good opinion of them, then. The next horse is the Knabstruppers. These horses would be an 8 out of 10, but because of just some of the coat colors not looking like realistic and that great, they're a 7 out of 10. I think I know a lot of people don't like them, but I actually really like the Knabstruppers. I know some of their coats don't look great, but I think the gaits are really nice. Honestly, the gaits are really up to par on what the horse is. They're known to be a very tall, muscular, powerful, kind of clunky breed, with kind of a graceful aspect to them, in my opinion. And I think Star Stable did really good with that. The coat colors don't look as good, but I think for their time, they're absolutely gorgeous. I probably will get 1 or 2 more Knabstruppers, just because I do really like them. But that's another breed, honestly, I think Star Stable could update, and I would honestly really like it. So, yeah, so that's my opinion on the Knabstruppers, probably like a 6 out of 10. The next horse is the American Quarter Horse. For me, they're kind of like a 4 out of 10. I don't like the American Quarters that much. I don't know. They're just not. Honestly, they're just not my cup of tea. That's basically it. Some of their coat colors are really pretty. Like, I have the Tom Hoof. Love that coat so much. I absolutely adore that coat, both the magical and the non-magical coat. Like, just honestly, that horse was perfection, in my opinion. But the breed itself, how they kind of represented it in the game, not my favorite. The gaits are not my favorite. So, yeah, probably like 5 out of 10. 4 to 5 out of 10. Not my favorite, but it's whatever. The next horse is the English Thoroughbred. This horse for me is probably like a 7 or 8 out of 10. I feel like it depends on the coat color. Honestly, when I first got the English Thoroughbreds, I didn't like them too much. Like, they were kind of like a 5 out of 10. But now that I have one and I've ridden it and it's in like my kind of RRP kind of world, I actually really like the English Thoroughbreds. I think some of the colors are kind of like, they're not like unrealistic. It's just the way Star Stable portrayed them looks unrealistic. So to me, it depends on the coat color, but honestly, overall, they're an 8 out of 10. I've really fallen in love with them recently. So I probably will get maybe 1 or 2 more English Thoroughbreds because I actually really like them. So yeah, I like the English Thoroughbreds. The next horse is the Marawaris. I kind of talked about these horses in my last video a little bit, and again, they're honestly like, with the new characters and just the new updated horses, they're kind of a 3 to 4 out of 10. I think they're really pretty. Like, the coat colors are gorgeous. But they just, with the new character updates and the newer horses, they honestly, the coat colors I think are up to par. It's just the gaits, and they, again, like I said in my other video, they just look so out of proportion to the riders, and they look really skinny. And I know they're really skinny in real life too, but they're just, now with the new characters, again, they're just too skinny. So I'm not trying to click on you, person, I promise. So I personally absolutely love the Marawaris. I think they're gorgeous, so they're probably like a 3 to 4 out of 10, but again, they just look so out of proportion, with the newer horses and the newer character models. And what else I think is funny, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but if you do a hard stop on a Marawari, it looks like the Jorvik Frisian, and I think that's honestly where the Jorvik Frisian hard stop inspiration came from, was the Marawari. Just worse, but I thought that was funny. I noticed that when I got my Marawari, and I was like, oh, that is hysterical. Alright, next horse is the Jorvik Wild Horse. Again, for a lot of people, it's a hit and miss. I personally do not like them. they're just clunky looking. They're just not. No. So they're probably like a 4 out of 10 for me. No. Like, I have their birthday horse because it's the birthday horse. But that's it. Like, I don't think no. I know for a fact. I will not buy another one. Just not my cup of tea. I just don't like them. I just think they're clunky looking and ugh, I don't really like the concept either, but to each his own. The next horse, which is hilarious, is the Jorvik Frisians. Now, normally these horses would be a 1 out of 10 for obvious reasons. I am putting them out of 2 out of 10 because I feel like if you get a certain coat color and if you put a certain mane style on them, they look like 2 times better. But that's as much grace as I can give them. They just don't look that good. Honestly, I really actually like to compliment them, which is crazy. I actually really like the face shape of the Jorvik Frisians. I think the face shape is quite elegant. It's just the fact that they decided to make them do weird things with their face. So they look a lot funkier than they should. But yeah, that's my thing on that. Gotland Pony is the next one. I don't have much to say on this horse. I think they're cute looking, but again, they're just not my cup of tea. So they will be a 5 out of 10, even, because I just don't have much to say on the Gotland Ponies. The next is the Finn horse. I personally don't have one, but I'm planning on getting one probably this fall on my alt account. So for me, I think they're kind of a solid like 6 out of 10. I think they're really cute. You know, like obviously they're not up to par with like the most recent Gen 3s, but I think they're really cute, honestly. I think they're really cute, especially like certain coat colors, in my opinion, I think are really adorable. Like the one I'm drawn to the most is the Palomino. I think that horse is just adorable. So that will be a horse I end up getting. So I think they're a good solid 6 out of 10. That might change when I get one, and I might actually ride it and be like, oh, they're actually really gross. So, you know, that might change, but for now, they're a 6 out of 10. So, the next horse are the Arabians, and just solid 8 out of 10. Just right off the bat, they're absolutely beautiful. I love the Arabian Pentavians. I think they're gorgeous. The coat colors are beautiful. The gaits are beautiful. They're just really pretty. And I feel like after the Arabians is when, like, Gen 3 horses really started to take a turn for the better. So, yeah, I really like the Arabians. I don't have a ton of them because they're just... I don't know. I just don't have a ton of them because they're not my favorite horses in the game. Like, they're in my top 10, but they're not... Yeah, anyway. But yeah, they're a solid good 8 out of 10. Like, they're good horses. They're beautiful horses. I own one Pentavian, and then I have 2 Arabians. And I honestly will probably get another one, so... But yeah, 8 out of 10. Solid 8 out of 10. The next horse are the Percherons. Again, for a lot of people, this is another hit or miss. I mean, I can't really have too much of an opinion because I don't have one. But, and I do plan on getting one so I can update this. But honestly, I feel like they're a solid, like, 6, 7 out of 10. I lean more towards 6. I think the coat colors are really pretty. I think they did really good with the main styles. I feel like the Percherons were kind of when main styles first started to, you know, kind of vary more, and they had more options. So I like that about them, and I don't think the gaits are horrible. Like, I know some of the gaits look really weird. Like, I think it's like the fast gallop, the head just looks really wacky. But honestly, like if you look at Percheron pictures, like, that is legitimately what their necks look like, though, is that super muscular, bended build. So, I mean, do they look like that when they run in real life? No. But Star Stable did actually they actually were really good about keeping the breed pretty accurate to what they are in real life. So they're a good solid, probably 6 out of 10 for me. So the next horse are the American Paint Horses, 10 out of 10 automatic. I love the paint horses. Just beautiful gaits, beautiful colors. I hope they come out with more, honestly. They're just beautiful horses. I cannot compliment them enough. So I absolutely love the paint horses. They're in my top 5. I absolutely adore the American Paint Horses so much. The next ones are the Icelandic ponies, or horses. I honestly don't know if they're ponies or considered horses or ponies. I think it's ponies. I don't have much an opinion on them, so probably 5 out of 10. I think they're very cute looking, though. Like, their faces are very adorable, in my opinion. But, yeah, solid 5 out of 10, because I just don't know. Yeah, so, okay, sorry, I lost my spot. Okay, the Appaloosas. So, this one's actually really funny, because in the beginning, I did not like the Appaloosas. I thought they were kind of tacky, but when I got the Appaloosa from, like, the rainbow event back in the day, I'm talking like it was, 20 years old, when that Appaloosa came out, it was like, what, 4 years ago, something like that, I honestly fell in love with the Appaloosas, and I've actually fallen in love with them a lot more recently, so they're honestly a good solid, like, 7 out of 10 for me. I actually am really kind of falling back in love with the Appaloosas. I went and saw them again during the Western Festival, and I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I actually really like these horses, so I probably will get 1 or 2 more. I don't know if they'll be on this account or my alt account, but, yeah, so yeah, good solid 7 out of 10. Next horse is, I'm trying to focus on this race and look at my list at the same time, are the Welsh ponies. These horses I think are a good solid 6 out of 10. I don't have one, and I didn't like them when they first came out, but I went and looked at them a little bit more recently, and I was like, oh my gosh, actually the gaits are really nice, and they're actually really cute. So yeah, they're a good solid 6 out of 10, which for me, that's really saying something, because I'm not a pony person. So that's honestly probably the biggest rating you'll ever get from me with a pony. Yeah, that jump is historically just terrible. Okay, the next horse are the Pasafinos, solid 8 out of 10. Actually, no, 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. I know for a lot of people the Pasafinos are a hit and miss. I personally absolutely love the Pasafinos. I think they're gorgeous. The coat colors are gorgeous. The gaits are beautiful. I know a lot of people didn't like them because, again, the muscular neck thing. But literally, that's what Pasafinos have. Like, they're like, that's the breed. So, no, 9 out of 10. I really like the Pasafinos. I have 2 of them, and I probably will end up getting another one. So, yeah, so I'm going to do one more breed in this video, because I think it's been like 30 minutes almost. So, we'll do one more real quick. The next horse is the Halflingers. Again, I really don't have much of an opinion on them, because I don't have one. But, like, for me and what I've seen, and I don't own one, so I can't say too much, but from what I've seen, they are a solid 6 out of 10. Will I get one? I don't know, it's kind of TBD. Honestly, leave a comment. Do you guys like the Halflingers? Do you think they're worth it? Because honestly, I can't make a decision, because they are really pretty, but I honestly can't decide if they're worth it, so... but yeah, let me know what you guys think about the Halflingers. But for me, in my opinion, and what I know about them, they're a solid 6 out of 10. Alright, we're going to do one more race, and I'm going to fit in as many horses as I can in this race, and we'll go from there. The next horse is the Shire horse. They are a good solid 7 out of 10. I think the coat colors are great. I think the build's great. The gaits, in my opinion, are kind of hit or miss. I think some of the gaits are really, really good, and then some of them are kind of like, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, they're a good solid 7 out of 10. I think they're really pretty. They're just, Star Stable did really good with the Shires. I really do like the Shires. I own, I think 3 of them. 2 of them are magical, and then one of them's not. But yeah, I really do like the Shires. I honestly probably will get another one on my alt account. Of another coat of the Shires that I really, really like. So, that is my opinion on those. The next horse, and I probably will talk about these the rest of this video, are the Belgian Warmbloods. 10, honestly 100 out of 10. I love the Belgian Warmbloods so much. I think the coat colors are great. I think the gaits are great. The jump's great. I absolutely adore the Belgian Warmbloods. I think they're absolutely fantastic. I could go on and on and on and on and on about the Belgian Warmbloods. I own, let's see, 1, 2, 3, I own 4, I think, and I probably will end up getting the rest of them at some point. So I absolutely love the Belgian Warmbloods. They're amazing. I know a lot of people really liked them when they first came out, and then they kind of lost popularity, but I adore the Belgian Warmbloods so freaking much. I cannot emphasize that enough. So anyway, but that will be part 1 of this training video for ranking all the Gen 3 horses. Let me know if you guys would want me to do like a magical horse one of these once I finish off my Gen 3 list. So let me guys know. And Knightly Icon is now up to level 9, so hopefully I might even do part 2 today, we'll see. But yeah, so I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!